Hello to you there. It's Thursday the 25th of November 2021, which means it's just a month now until Christmas, of course. Christmas Day on this day in a month's time. Isn't that exciting? Sunday is the first Sunday ahead of Advent. Oh, yes, we'll be singing those wonderful Advent hymns, you know. Christmas is coming, the bells are gonna ring, that one. And, of course, O come, Emmanuel. I'm looking forward to that so much. It's me playing the organ this week. I've only got one in Advent, and it's this week, so those are two of those that I'm going to do. Is that exciting? Shania in the Isle of Wight, on the Isle of Wight, will probably want to come this Sunday, won't you? Get your boat nice and early, my darling. Anyway, fantastic news on a new film that's coming out on Friday. That's tomorrow this week. Tomorrow. And it's been directed. And did he write it? No, I mean, he directed it. I don't know if he wrote any of it or not. Reggie Yates. Of course, you will know him from either BBC Radio 1 as a DJ, or he's done a couple of programmes on the telly. Very, very talented man. Anyway, he's got a film coming out called Pirates. And this is very interesting to me because if you don't know, I used to be a pirate radio DJ many, many years ago, 1982, I think it was. I had a little radio station called Radio 23, which basically started out as a speaker in my neighbour's house, right? And then a speaker in my other neighbour's house. Then I got two of these like FM radio mics and I stuck them in a cupboard with a loudspeaker and went out on FM, very, very local, you know, just a few houses around me. And then later on, I found someone to build me a radio transmitter, which was basically quite small there, only out there, and it was powered by a car battery, big area on the roof, and I did pirate radio. Not only that, but the actual film is about these boys trying to get into a party in South London for the New Year's Eve 1999 to 2000, which again is very special to me. I was DJing at a place in Clapham on that particular day, and it was silly money. It was silly money that they were charging on the door. I think it was something like £40 or £45 per ticket. And coincidentally, as things follow things, once we saw how much they were charging, all the DJs and entertainers wanted a piece of the action. It was silly money they were offering, okay? And of course, we accepted it. Come the actual night, it just didn't happen because I think we upset the customers so much, not me, but the people who decided the ticket prices. Because let me tell you, if it was normal ticket prices, I certainly would have charged normal fee, you know, but it wasn't. It was like 40 or 45 quid a ticket. Come the night, no one came. Just a small handful of people came on this particular night. It just didn't work. And we weren't the only ones, apparently. This happened to an awful lot of venues where they thought they could get away with charging you for this very special date, 1999, into the new millennium, of course, you know. And no one went. The customers were really upset by this, and it took a while to recover from that. Believe me, the next few New Year's Eves after 1999 to 2000 were not the New Year's Eves that we knew before that. It was always a guaranteed big, big party to celebrate, and it just didn't happen for years afterwards. They're not so bad now. And that's what this film is kind of about. I'll read the synopsis on the British Film Institute website. We've got a picture here of the main characters in the film. There you go. That's pirates. There we are. 3 boys there. It says it's an uplifting... the uplifting directional debut of actor and TV presenter Reggie Yates. He's not actually one of those, okay? Pirates follows a pirate radio crew of 3 teenage boys who embark on the short and hilarious calamitous, you know, as in calamity, calamitous road trip. In a rickety yellow Peugeot 205, they set out from North to South London on New Year's Eve in 1999. Their destination was the twice as nice Millennium Party in Vauxhall, right? And it goes on. It says, remembering the clubs, slang, music fashion of the UK garage scene. Now, I wasn't really into garage. There were a couple of songs. Please say one. And the crowd say Bo Selector. What's that one? There was a couple of songs that kind of, well, there's quite a few songs that broke through to the regular top 40 chart. Yeah, it was only a couple of them that I really liked. Nowadays, of course, when I look back, I do actually like the music, and I wish I'd perhaps got into a little bit of it then. But it says in this thing, remembering the club's slang, music, and fashion of the UK garage scene in the 1990s, the film is a fictional comedy caper with autobiographical elements drawn from the 38-year-old director's youth. Matthew Kassoff's Lahane 1995 provided a visual touchstone. At the age of 14, Reggie Yates was blown away by that film's breathless depiction of the Parisian banlieue. For Pirates, he was interested in portraying his London experience through the joy and uncertainty of three teenagers at a crucial part in their lives. Well, of course, 1999, I was a bit older than the teenagers. Well, it was 63, 73, 83, 93. No. So I was 37. I was 37 in 1999. It says, so much of London and so much of my past in this film, explains Yates. Subcultures have always been incredibly interesting to me. Quadrophenia, who remembers that one? Yeah, The Old Bikes, 1979, fantastic film. Was a film that I watched in my teens. I wanted to be a mod. I didn't want to be a rocker. At that time, I didn't realise that the subculture I was a part of could end up on film and be cinematic at the same time. Lahane's tonal very different. It just made me realise that stories of this scale could be cinematic in a lot of ways. And it starts. It says we meet Yates and the film's trio of young stars in Finsbury Park, just round the corner from where the original Freak FM pirate radio station transmitted from a tower block in the mid-90s. And it brings back so many memories, this. As I say, I had a pirate radio station. It was in my bedroom, right? And then we had an area on the roof, and literally, I was 18, 19 years old. I was climbing on the roof to put this area up. We weren't actually in a tower block. That being said, we were 4 stories, ground first. So we're 4 stories up. You had to climb through this hole in the long block of flats that we had. I wish I had a picture to show you, actually. It was a long block of flats, like long, right? And there was a hole, right? And we had to literally jump up onto this ledge. I'm just trying to think how on earth we got up there. I think it was a case of standing on a chair, a tall stool or something like that, and you jump up on there and then pull yourself up in this hole. It was blooming dangerous when I think about it, to get this area up. We had the whale of a time doing that. A whale of a time. Anyway, just round the corner where the original Freak FM pirate radio station transmitted from a tower block in the mid-90s, and the Seven Sisters Snail, which is apparently a mural which appears in the film. Now, this mural in Seven Sisters, which is a part of London, I don't recall seeing this. I'm sure if I was to drive around the area and see it, I would probably say to you, oh, that one, but I don't have it in my head at the moment. And it just goes on, and these lads are North London lads, okay, but they're trying to get into a nightclub in South London. And it looks absolutely fantastic. So I will hopefully, possibly, go and see this, I think possibly Monday next week. All right, so once again, that's the Reggie Yates film Pirates, which is out tomorrow. That's Friday. Will you be going to see that? Is that the sort of thing that you like to see? Pirate radios and 1990s garage music? Put a little comment down there if you want to in the comment section, or you can always send an email to me, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk is my email address. And talking of emails, we had an email in from the delightful Mike in Brighton. Hello, Mike, who rather evilly knows that I've been having trouble getting cheese and onion crisps, okay? And he very kindly sends me in a picture of some cheese and onion crisps. And it says, "Hi, Chris. We have lots of these at the hotel bar. I can mail you a few if you're having withdrawal symptoms. Love, Mike." So thanks very much for that, Mike. But guess what, Mike? Guess what? I went into the co-op, or the co-op just up the road in Woodall Spa the other day. And guess what? Yes. I have. This would be my third bag now. I'm sorry. Because what happened, I turned up to, was it Sunday? I said, no. No, I think it was it last, hang on, I'm just trying to think. No, last night I went over to my sister's house last night. And on the way there, I stopped at Sainsbury's just on the off chance that they might have some. And they did. And I bought 2 bags of these. One of which I got into the car, I walked out the shop, got back into the car park, immediately ate one of the bags of cheese and onion crisps because I hadn't had any for weeks, dear. Weeks. Awful. Weeks. And I drove to my sister's, and when I got in there, she said, "I've got a surprise for you." Guess what it was? Not one of these, a £1 bag of cheese and onion crisps. Even better, dear. And I sat there and had those, and I've got 1 bag left. So thanks for the photo, and thank you, Mike, for the offer. Thanks, Mike, for the offer. Very much appreciated. But we now appear, the cheese and onion crisps are now coming through. I just want to point out I did actually get these from Sainsbury's, okay? Or was it the co-op? Either the Sainsbury's or the co-op. Can't remember which one. I did actually buy these from a shop and not from one of the many crisp dealers that appears to have suddenly appeared. We've got people in very dark clothes. They've got hoodies on. They're going around the outside pubs. Excuse me, mate. Do you need any crisps? £25. Yeah, £25 I can do you. And it's all very underhand. Very, very. Cheese and onion Walker's crisps dealers have suddenly shot up across certain parts of London. Be warned. Thank you very much for that, Mike. What else have we got here? Good news. Thursday morning, of course, is when you'll first see this show, unless, of course, you watch at a different time. The air conditioning man, Reese, has just messaged me last night, that's Wednesday night, to tell me that the new unit is ready to be installed. It's come in the post, and he's happy to come and do that today. So probably while you're watching this, I would guess, if you're watching this in the morning, he'll be installing my brand new air conditioning cum heating unit because the other one's failed after only 2.5 years. But he did say that's really unusual with those. That being said, it's the second one that I've had go wrong now. I had one go wrong at the house some years ago, and this is the second one. And bear in mind, it's only like 3 years old. But, you know, he says that they are extremely reliable, and it's very, very unusual for one of them to go wrong. So that'll be done today. Now, talking of New Year's Eves, just going back to that film there, and as I say, the 1999 to 2000 New Year's Eve should have been enormous, but it wasn't, because the clubs and the bars became too greedy. You know, and before you say, well, the DJs were charging a lot of money, I certainly was not until I saw how much they were charging on the door. Yeah, otherwise it would have been, I would just charge the normal fee. But talking New Year's Eve, this New Year's Eve, I'll be working. I'm very pleased to say I'll be working. I haven't done the last 2 or 3 New Year's Eves. I just didn't want to do them. I don't know why. I just didn't want to do them for some reason, and I don't know. I can't tell you why, to be honest. However, this New Year's Eve I will be doing, and we'll be doing a karaoke come disco night at Central Station. We'll be doing a normal karaoke night because New Year's Eve is on I think it's on a Friday, is it? Hang on, let me just double check for that. Because if I get it wrong, you've made a mistake. New Year's Eve is on Saturday. No, it's not. It's on Friday. It's on Friday, okay? So New Year's Eve is on a Friday this year. And, of course, usually on Friday we have karaoke anyway. So my idea was, because the pub's not got a lot of money washing around in a minute, there's quite a lot of debts going on there, which accumulated, of course, during the pandemic. So I do everything I do there really cheap. Really cheap. You know, I want to be there. You see, that's the point. I want to be there. Therefore, I do it cheap. They can afford it. Happy days. And I'm doing exactly the same on New Year's Eve. And I suggested to them, being as it's a Friday and it's a normal karaoke night, why don't we do karaoke 7:30 to 11:30? So that gets extended by about half an hour. Normal karaoke is 7:30 to 11, and you know I'm there every Friday and Saturday for the karaoke. There we go. Friday and Saturday, 7:30 to 11, karaoke at Central Station. On New Year's Eve, we're going to do karaoke 7:30 to 11:30. Okay, and then we'll do a little bit of dance music, okay, for people to dance to with the bells at midnight and going through until 12:30. So that's what we've agreed to do. So that's New Year's Eve. So if you're not doing anything on New Year's Eve, and we are trying to get it as free entry, okay? We're trying to do it so that there's no charge on the door. There's a bit of discussion going on. That's completely out of my hands. A bit of discussion going on between the management and the owners at the moment. We're really trying to do that at free entry, but if it's not free entry, it will be really cheap, no more than a couple of quid. That's what I've been told. All right. All right, so fingers crossed it'll be free entry, and I'll let you know as soon as I know. So if you're in the North London area, New Year's Eve, that might be an idea for you to come down. Perhaps if you've never been to one of the karaoke nights and you want a reasonably cheap night out, come along to that. All right, New Year's Eve at Central Station. Really looking forward to that. I know it's like we're talking about this before Christmas, but honestly, it's on top of your life. There's all these dates are like that, aren't they? In fact, next summer is almost here as well. Although you wouldn't think it outside. It's going to be very windy Friday and Saturday this week here in the UK. You know that, don't you? All right. What else have we got here? Shall I save that now? What's the time? Okay, let's just. I think I might save something for tomorrow's show. Thanks so much to Diane Jeb. Hello to you, Diane. All right, my love. She's sent a couple of messages here. She's talking about the alien man, of course. There's the alien man. You remember him? We showed you him the other day, a man that's done all sorts of bits and pieces to his face. That is actually how he looks. That is not a mask. All right? That is not a mask. I know. Unbelievable, isn't it? Anyway, what he's saying there, what Diane's saying, I think I would be a bit too scared to stand near the alien man, and maybe he will regret looking like that when he gets older. And she enjoyed the show. Thank you very much, Diane. And also, Diane comments on the subject of Morcambe Wise and Benny Hill, which we spoke about yesterday. Both of these delightful, all three of these delightful people will be on around the Christmas period. I've just looked actually on the BBC One schedule. I can't find where the Morcambe Wise show is. It may well be on BBC Two, but I'll keep an eye on that, see if I can find it. Diane Jeb says, I loved Benny Hill and Morcambe Wise and loads of the old ones. She said they were hilarious. One of my favourite Morcambe Wise sketches was the breakfast sketch. I've watched that so many times. I tell you, I know exactly the one you mean. As done to the stripper music. My favourite part of that is where he gets the four oranges and he goes da 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 da, and the towel at the fridge. Wonderful. Blooming wonderful. Perhaps me and my mate could do something like that. I don't know. Redo the Morcambe Wise sketch. I'll suggest that to him. You never know. He might say that would be quite a lot of work doing that. But I think that could be quite fun to do, actually. Awful lot of work. I'll ask him. All right. She says, I loved Ken Dodd. Wonderful man. So funny. And he had such a beautiful singing voice too. Yes, indeed he did. You know. Happiness, happiness, the greatest gift that I possess. I thank the Lord that I possess more than my share of happiness. Ba 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 ba. You know, if only it was happy on Facebook, wasn't it? If only it was happy on Facebook, people might get a few more likes. All these depressing posts and what have you. Happy, be happy. I'm going to be happy for you now, Diane. Did you see that moment of happiness in my face? which is more than I could have said yesterday morning. We had a bit of a problem with the audio on the radio show yesterday. It was a weird thing. I don't know what was going on, but it turns out it wasn't this end at all. It was at the radio station end. So all well and good there, all right. Diane goes on to say, the trouble with some people today is they don't know how to laugh and find everything too serious. She says it's sad, really. Great show as always, Chris. So thank you very much for that little comment there, young Diane Jev. As always, yes, put a little comment underneath there if you want to. Will you be going to watch the Reggie Yates film at all? Or perhaps there's a film that you want to see at the moment. I'm very much looking forward on... I think it's it's either the 22nd or the 23rd of December up here in Lincolnshire, where I'll be for the Christmas period. My nephew and his wife have hired out a cinema. Now, don't think cinemas like Leicester Square. They're much smaller, sort of around here. They've hired out a cinema, which wasn't that expensive, to show the Polar Express on the big screen. I mean, it's great seeing it on the telly, but seeing something like that in a cinema is fantastic. And all the family's going, and also Gary and Evie's friends will be going to see that at the cinema. I have requested that I sit with the children so that I can misbehave with them, because I don't want to be sitting with adults. Oh, Christ, they're just so boring, aren't they? You know, whatever you say, they will take an opposite opinion of and be negative. I don't want any of that. I want to sit with the children. I want to sit with the children and throw popcorn at people, you know, and make as much noise with crisps as possible. Isn't it annoying when you're trying to watch a film, eh? And all you can hear is that when you're trying to watch a film. So that's a great film. We're going to see that. Have you seen the James Bond one yet, incidentally? I believe that's now available to rent. I saw that come up on Amazon Prime. I was watching something on Amazon Prime yesterday. I've just started watching it. Jericho. That's it, Jericho, which is about this nuclear... it's about this little town, and they're looking in the distance and they saw a mushroom cloud, like of a nuclear explosion type thing, right? Saw this cloud rising, and about how they deal with it and all that, you know. And this bloke was explaining what happens with radiation sickness. You know, if the blast doesn't get you, this radiation comes up in a big cloud and it will travel to whichever way the wind is blowing. And it's, when you die of radiation sickness, you are literally cooking from the inside out. I mean, it must be an awful way to go, dear. No, I think I should be avoiding radiation clouds everywhere. Thank you very much. Email chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. If you want to send a tip, incidentally, there's my tip thing. I've got a PayPal. Just type that into your address bar and send me a minimum of £5,000, and I'll be very happy. And I'll be even happier than this. Have a nice day. Being Thursday, I'm travelling back down south today. So if I've got time, there'll be a show tomorrow. If not, don't worry too much. All right? Thanks for watching and listening. See you soon. Bye-bye.